Hello everyone, welcome once again to Zion
Culture.
This is
Culture Shock.
a show where we break
Fix
the
tables.
Okay, I'm beside the Mikey today. The Mikey.
A show where we
Fix
Fix
tables.
tables. And you guys should break.
Why
We fix.
are we never
Okay, you break,
You
we
break. We
fix.
fix.
a show where we
Fix tables.
Break and fix tables.
No, like
Oh
you
my
break
God.
Break and fix tables.
break and fix tables.
Alright.
So just in this few minutes, we are trying to see how we can declare. We want to really take this time. J. Mikey and I would like to appreciate everyone that voted for us as the
Let's have
winner.
finish now. The
Just
vote of
ladies
thanks.
first.
You know, the
We're
winners
giving
used to
vote of
first
thanks.
give.
Yes.
Also, I do want to say
Mikey
something.
and
It's
I
like-
would like to thank everyone that voted for us as the winner of the last post on YouTube. We really appreciate
What was that
it.
post? The
post
video
was-
about
yes, the
should
video about
church be
should
fun?
church be fun.
So
And
this is what happens
we
when
had-
you are-
Wait, she has not finished.
as winners.
Let her finish.
Okay, finish.
So we had lots of people saying great things like, "Oh, Jimmer, I like the way you came with this, the way you supported. It was amazing." And we would just like to.
I agree, church should be fun.
Yes.
It is important for we as Christians to have fun in church. If not, people will draw fun from the wrong source. Thank you very much, Debbie Akonya.
Yes, we're really saying thank you because we saw the votes rolling in and it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was
Are you guys
amazing.
doing?
Team J. Mikey and
And
Mary.
won,
What did you
yes,
skip?
so-
I don't worry.
Why did you skip?
I see what I want to see. I see only what I want to see.
Oh my
There's
God.
this comment that
So good job to everyone at Ajayi, but I think Team Ife James and Jeremiah won. And the person went on to list like comprehension passage.
Let's go.
That's why
The fact that
didn't do
J.
this.
Mikey
See your
and
doings.
See your
Mary,
doings.
who support fun, are wearing the same clothes. You see, we were in sync.
yes.
But we
were also in sync.
No, you are not wearing the same.
We're wearing checkers.
We're wearing checkers together.
Oh,
No,
that's
it wasn't
true. That's
obvious.
true.
How can checkers be obvious?
Want to check us out?
See, Team Ayinla Roda says Team J. Mikey won. No, church is fun. However, church activities must sometimes.
What's on top of that one?
No, let me
Forget
What's
that
on
one.
top of
No, let's
Forget
finish
that
that.
one. Forget that one.
See,
Finish it.
There's no point.
We just like to say thank
You see,
everyone.
J. Mikey came, head and conquered. J. Mikey won.
What's on top of it?
Yes.
Ife James and
Ife
Jeremiah.
James.
I don't know. They
Why
said-
did
you
I
just said
do-
No, the
something?
thing is, they said one or two things.
Okay, we
about
leave it to
Ife
you.
James,
But anyways, thank you so much for.
thank
Tell
you
us
so
who
much
won.
for telling us, who won and
If you haven't watched the video, click somewhere.
the previous video.
You see the card, click it and watch it.
Okay, so today we have something more interesting. Today we're speaking about spiritual fathering. And the
But what's the
topic-
bone of contention then?
Yes, that's true. Jeremiah, what's our bone of contention today?
That was shocking. Anyway, we want to talk about spiritual father. I think we want to also talk about the age
You
gap.
think?
I know. Okay. Mary, what's happening? I
Just put you on the spot.
want to talk about, age bracket between spiritual father. Should I be older than my spiritual father? Should my spiritual father be older than me? Some things around.
Or should we even have
father.
spiritual father?
Yeah, I think that's the first
And what
place.
exactly is spiritual father?
So yes, we will start from the foundation so that we can reach the roof.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
So
Okay.
for me, right, I feel like spiritual father is not a bad thing for me, right? I feel like spiritual father. What do they call spiritual father? Spiritual father is
Someone is your father in the
someone,
Spirit realm.
someone who guides you spiritually in that sense.
But what's the
Okay.
disciple like as a spiritual father?
Yes, that's true. Jeremiah.
Spiritual father,
This is
spiritual discipler,
Yes.
or spiritual mentor,
I feel there's a problem. What's
spiritual father, mentor,
Yes,
spiritual leader,
started this inside.
and discipler.
Yes, we would like you to just break it down.
Just break it down, those four for us.
Yes.
Out of your wealth of.
Anyway,
So let's start from the first
Wait,
one. So
first.
wait first. Wait first.
let me remind you, break it down for us.
Yes.
What is spiritual father?
Jesus.
What is
Simplify
spiritual
it.
leader? What is mentor? And what is
Discipler. Yes.
Over to you.
Over to me,
Yes.
right? Okay, so spiritual father, like I said, is someone that you see as a father spiritually.
If you're James, are you taking notes? Okay, no. Okay, I'm listening.
What's happening?
Go on. You're doing well, sir.
Mentor
Okay.
is someone that would, that you watch his footsteps, that would, especially in terms of
We
career.
don't watch our
But-
spiritual father's footsteps.
No, you asked me one question. Let me answer just one question. Please help me. God, I beg. Okay, I'm done.
No, just finish. You are doing great. You are doing
Really,
awesome.
really,
We're proud
I
of
am.
you. We're proud of you. Go on.
I
Please,
just
what's happening to you?
We're proud of you. We're proud of you, sir. Go on.
What else do you want me to answer?
no, you're not.
You've done spiritual
Disciple
father.
is you are a disciple to your discipler.
So you can't be a
No,
disciple to your spiritual father?
You can be a disciple to your.
So
Then what's the
break it
difference?
down.
Break it down for
What's
us.
the difference?
That's a very good question. So, what's the next question?
You know, someone says that's a very good question.
What's the next question? You guys, let's talk about this today. I'm very Wow.
God.
That was nice, though.
No, we are not done.
We are done. I am done.
All right.
Okay, so we're speaking about spiritual fathering, and the first thing is, do you have a spiritual father?
Do I have a spiritual father?
Yes.
I can ask you the same question.
Of course.
Yes, I have a spiritual father.
You have a spiritual father.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Ife James, what about you?
Why did you look at me? Why did you look at me like that?
No, I just want to be sure because you started this whole conversation with I think. So I just want to be sure.
Oh, you want me to be emphatic? I'll be okay, no problem. Yes, I do.
Good. What about you?
That's where the definition comes in.
Good. Okay. Bring it, brother.
So, what or who is a spiritual father?
So we're asking you now, Mary.
So we ask each person. I think that will, so that we'll know, so that we'll be giving solutions based on the definitions.
Okay.
So for me, right?
No, Jim,
you want to start?
Okay, yeah. I might not know that much about this topic, to be honest. But from the little, it's good to confess at the beginning, so that when you hang like some people, you will not feel bad. Anyway,
God.
so for me, right, when we talk about mentor,
Okay.
okay, let me start from spiritual father. Spiritual father, of course, comes from the I don't want to use the word religious aspect. It comes from the spiritual aspect, of course.
Yeah.
So the person doesn't have to be your physical, biological father. It's just someone who takes on the role of a father in the spiritual sense. So guiding you spiritually, mentoring you. A spiritual father can actually be a mentor as well. A spiritual father can be a discipler. So it's basically a spiritual father oversees you. Is like an umbrella for your life, right? But then where mentor comes in differently is that mentor can be used in the aspect of career.
Yeah.
The aspect of so spiritual, you can't be a spiritual father and then what spiritual father in say in business administration. That doesn't work because so that spiritual aspect differentiated. But a mentor can do everything that a spiritual father can do minus the spiritual element. Then
Discipler.
now you see that's a very good question.
So next person.
A discipler, in my opinion, discipler still falls under the terminologies of what we use in the Christian circle because nobody outside the Christian circle uses the term discipler. I don't even know if it's a proper
I
word.
heard of someone that had said he has a spiritual father and he has a disciple and he has a mentor.
That's amazing. That's a very amazing thing.
Because if someone is your spiritual father, that is supposed to encapsulate, in my opinion, mentorship, discipling, and.
But it's not always every time.
Okay.
Because some people's.
And I would disagree, but finish.
Good.
So, for instance, spiritual leadership or father in this case is usually used for people in that covering, general covering.
Yeah.
Why discipler is somebody that actually brings you in order to be conformed to the person of Christ.
That's which one?
Discipleship.
But can someone be your spiritual father and not bring you to the conformation
The
of
person
Christ?
may not directly be involved. So, for instance, let's say mega churches, for instance. So, the person can be a spiritual father in terms of is my church pastor and everything. However, in units, so there's usually somebody who is probably more close to you.
For example, Daddy Gio,
and what I've learned.
And then someone in your
someone that is closer because
province.
So the person that is closer to you should be your discipler.
Not your spiritual father.
No, can be the spiritual father. Can be, but not always every time.
But Ife James, I agree with you, but in this part of, I believe whenever you say you have a spiritual covering, your spiritual covering, now closeness dependent, but as to know you and identify with you.
But that's how it's supposed to be. But in 2024.
But you know what the difference is? You know what the difference is? We are intertwining the concept of spiritual father in title.
Okay.
with spiritual father in function.
Function.
Oh.
Yeah.
Daddy Gio is a million
father.
people's spiritual father
Exactly.
in title,
Yeah.
but he doesn't know you.
Function. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, but
But what we're
the
saying
person
is
that,
in-
but when we talk
in
in
function.
function,
Function.
Knows you
that has
and
to
is
be.
aware.
And once the person is aware, then
Some
that's a
person you say you're
discipler
like
too.
Yeah,
spiritual
so the
father
person
is like,
should,
huh?
so spiritual father should be
A discipler.
Yeah.
Because what we
Okay.
see is a lot of people now, they attach themselves to a spiritual father
Without
knows
that doesn't
nothing
know about them. Yeah.
So they just send in
Yeah.
money,
Which
like,
also
oh,
comes-
thank you,
yeah.
Father, for fathering us.
fathering
and does
us,
not,
yeah.
he's not fathering
I don't know you, bro.
Bro, I don't know you from nowhere.
Okay, so now we're going to do something. We've been able to establish the definitions of this.
spiritual, yeah.
We're going to talk about the aspect of the roles of mentees, no, spiritual children.
Children.
Yeah, but before then, should my spiritual father?
No, before we get into the age one,
Okay.
can you have a mentor that doesn't know you? Because we have a lot of people say, "Oh, Miles Monroe of Blessed Memory was my mentor."
Mentor, yeah.
Yes,
He
that's true.
doesn't know you exist,
think
but
it's
you
possible.
read his books.
I also think it's
Yeah.
possible.
Like
Yes,
role
I
model.
agree.
So there is short distance mentorship.
Okay.
There is close contact mentorship. There are a lot of people that do very well in career paths that you probably will never meet.
Yeah.
So what you did, you feed on their content.
Feed on their content.
So that way they are mentoring you based on their
Yeah.
content, their books.
Indirect mentoring.
So I have a question now. So can you also have a spiritual father in that sense that you listen to the person's message?
That's a very good question.
I mean, you.
What do you think?
Can, no.
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
No,
It's a
it
good
really
question.
is a good
But
question.
so,
but
I mean,
Like, because if we can
actually-
have the reason why I feel we can't is because if we go back to the concept of definition of that title, that name by function, not by title. If it's by title, we can, but by function, the concept of a father is supposed
Yes.
to
To
be.
be
Yeah.
It's
personal.
supposed to be one-on-one, you know, not someone that is in a, you know, and then
fab.
yeah,
But
in my
they need-
opinion,
Because
sha.
what
A lot
you're
of people
saying
need-
But this is a personal opinion, not the Bible truth. Though.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. Yeah.
But what we're saying about spiritual fathering is, there needs to be identification. Because if there's no identification, I don't think that part. You need to be accepted. This is father son.
Oh yeah, and there's supposed to be some form of accountability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not some.
And
No,
you
you
can't
get
have
really
and you can't have
accountability.
someone who has no contact with you and you are accountable to the person.
No.
I have a tricky question.
Yeah, please do.
So this time around, let me put the situation as this: there is a mentor, a man, or a man here as a mentor, and he has a spiritual father.
Okay.
Okay.
Now he's quite close with his mentor and the spiritual father,
Okay.
but then he has a situation where his mentor and spiritual father do not agree on the same thing.
Okay. Now, as you were talking, something came to my mind. So I think that should be able to answer the question. You can have a spiritual father and a mentor,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The spiritual father will deal with your life in general, aligning with the spiritual side of things.
yeah.
A mentor could be in your career path. For example, if your spiritual father is the spiritual father, and then you want to go into filmmaking,
Okay.
Yeah.
your spiritual father will still be your spiritual father in the overall sense.
Well, you
But when it
might
comes to
have
the
a
aspect of
mentor.
filmmaking, there can be a mentor. So where can they not agree? I don't really see.
Yeah, it's okay. What I mean is this. For
So
example,
except the person who is a mentor is now taking on the role of a spiritual father, then there's a problem.
So
Of
I
which
think-
you shouldn't have two people.
So I think
taking
one
on-
of the issues that could cause this is the person himself or herself. So I mean, for a spiritual father, there are even conversations that you can sort yourself in terms of accountability. Some things are very mundane that you don't even need to
Oh, yeah,
tell your spiritual
yeah.
father, "Sir, I want
Yeah.
to go to Abuja tomorrow. Can I go?" You know,
Yeah,
in that
yeah,
sense,
yeah,
right?
okay.
So I think that some conversations that would not be really important in terms of career. I'm not saying that you should not put your career in the terms of God, right? But some conversations
but
that
a
you
career,
don't need
a career
to.
conversation can be heard. Like you can have such conversation with your spiritual father.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I don't get. So you can. You don't understand what I'm saying. I'm saying that yes, it's a good way to have that conversation. But I feel like in terms of career, when you see someone as your mentor, the person has the outright say, or let me say like the active say for your decision making than your spiritual
In
father.
that career path.
Do you get?
Okay.
And in the spiritual path, your mentor will not decide for you in
Yeah.
that sense.
Yeah,
Even
the
before you go and meet your
spiritual
future,
father
should be the one on that side. Before you even meet your spiritual father, you have like a year
So that means
from
in the
God.
that means in the hierarchy,
in the
spiritual
hierarchy.
father is higher
Is higher.
than a mentor.
Right, that answers the question.
And a spiritual. Now the next question is: I believe you can have a mentor for a season.
Yeah.
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 Can you have a spiritual father for a season?
I
I'm
don't
not sure.
agree with that.
Yeah, I think so.
You think so?
Spiritual father for a season?
Yes.
I do not agree with that.
Let's
Except
okay.
there's a point where the spiritual father maybe dies.
So what I
That and you feel the Lord is leading you to submit
To somebody
that's
else.
under someone else.
That's in season.
That season actually.
That's in season.
Yeah, no. Jemma,
Are you
is
sure
that
it's-
what you meant?
Is that your kind of? Is that your kind
I
of?
mean, that's
season?
technically it.
what you
If
meant.
you
Okay,
submit to somebody
that
before, then
happens.
you now submit to somebody else.
No, what if
Yeah,
the
but
person is
submitting to
still
somebody
alive?
else does not mean this other person. To be honest, I don't have an answer to that. That's
So
what I'm asking. Please tell us in the chat what you think about this question I just asked.
I
Can a
think-
spiritual father
yeah.
be for seasonal?
For instance, so what I think a lot of people do is when they are leaving a father, especially for the fathers that are very secured in themselves, if you are going to a new person that you are led, they
While
tell
the
you to
person is still
contact.
alive?
Yes.
What
yes,
are
they do that.
So
the what are the
there is that.
circumstances
Contact.
that can what are the circumstances
Why?
that can make a person
How would you?
Change of
I
season in
think
person's life.
change of season in person's life. I
what
think
kind of what kind of season?
Okay.
No, if you say
I've
change
had-
of season in the person's
Because
life,
I've had so many seasons in my life and I'm still under the same spiritual
Do you, know
father.
that,
So
do you know that some people leave churches for a reason? Maybe God told them to. Wait,
Yeah.
let's create something like that.
you're already
Yes,
diving
that's
into spiritual
different.
father by title,
Title,
not by function.
not by
Because
and
I
season.
don't
I mean.
understand.
Not by function. Because if it's by title, yes, you change the church, of course.
Yeah, it's
Spiritual
spiritual
father. Oh,
leadership
I had a spiritual father. He was the pastor of this church. Now I travel to another state. I have
You now
another
have
church.
another
I have another
spiritual
spiritual father.
father.
That's title. But by function,
That's not really.
can that spiritual father be seasonal?
Seasonal.
Yes.
By
So
function.
what can make but don't say it's because of times and seasons, because times and seasons should not
No, it
determine a
shouldn't.
change in
God has-
fatherhood.
God's
Your father does not
Like-
change because your times and seasons change.
Exactly.
That you're an adolescent
So why-
does not mean your
Let me
father will
explain-
change. So
I
what?
really want an explanation on
Okay,
that.
so
And no matter how successful you are, even if you become more successful than that person,
Yeah,
can
no,
that person
definitely.
stop being your?
yeah, success is not
It's not the
determinant.
reason for change.
So what can
So
be
why
what
would
can
this-
be the reason for the change?
the level of
You two, you said yes, so you are in
I
the hook
tried
too.
to answer you, but you said that it's functional. So
Okay.
Okay.
I give up on
so
that.
the reason why it can change is one, because the person wants to change.
But why does the person? Why
thought
could
that
the
because the
person?
reason
want
is
to-
the person's
No,
reason.
God might be leading you to somebody to submit to someone else.
There is usually.
I think that the best way. No, come on.
Okay.
When God tells
Maybe,
you
wait,
to
let's
submit to
hear
someone
the second
else.
reason. Okay, fine. God said, and you
Submit
said
to someone.
the person just
But
wants
the right
to.
thing to do, like he said that they have to meet. So that means
No, of
literally
course,
shut
yeah.
the door well. I mean,
Of
have the
course, I get
conversation,
it. Oh,
then
yeah, I
you-
get it.
So I think for this season,
But
that's
you've not. Okay, yeah, another
Okay,
reason.
for instance,
Another
another
reason.
is the person that is currently leading you is leading in a particular dimension of grace. And so when probably a new door is open to you, you need a father that is more dominant in the expression of it.
like when you become a pastor. So
Why are you saying no?
when you become a pastor?
Don't make that example.
you
Don't make
need
that.
like
Don't make that example.
I think I get that when you become a pastor, you now
You are
have
still making the example.
No, I'm just saying.
Don't
no.
make-
It's what is bad in being a pastor?
There's nothing bad. Don't just make it.
There's nothing bad in being a pastor.
Are you trying to say that, for example, my spiritual father is a pastor, I'm a pastor, then God calls me into being an apostle? I say my spiritual father?
People do it.
No, people do it, doesn't make it right.
Why is it wrong?
Why is it wrong? Can you tell us why it's wrong?
No, I can try, but I don't agree to it. I don't believe you should change
I don't think it's right or wrong. It's a matter of where you.
It's
It's
for me, I think
okay.
it's the person.
Why
actually.
then do you call it spiritual father?
Because at that point, the person's fathering you.
No. It's not.
So bless me now, father, you know. I don't agree now.
Not necessarily on father. There is which example?
Okay, I want to ask you. So if the season, the person changed to another person, then the season changes again. The person moves to another.
So let me ask you
Then
one
it
question.
changes again.
Let me ask you one question.
Isn't that fatherly? Hello to yourself.
Let me ask you one question. My question is: do you think
Oh my
that
God.
a father has a particular level of grace? So it means that a spiritual father has a particular level of grace.
Maybe you
That
now
means
get to that level of
level
grace.
of
and
grace
you
is higher than
need
you.
God.
No.
Need more grace.
I'm just asking.
I don't know.
No. There's no like level. There's no level like that.
So I think that
Nah,
I think
I'm
that
not on it.
spiritual father cannot be seasonal in that sense.
No,
Well, actually,
can change.
based on what you guys have said, because I've been quiet since because I've been
the
brainstorming.
No, Jim, Mikey, what
Yeah.
I think is it's a choice. It's different.
Mm-hmm.
But like the person might decide, I don't want this person to be my spiritual father anymore. I
Why?
want to go to someone else.
Why?
That might be for conflicting reasons, such as maybe when the person doesn't, the spiritual father tells you, this is what I think you should do, or this, but you be no, this.
That means you are not
So I agree with Ife.
Yeah.
It is very possible for someone to change a spiritual father. Why do I
Okay.
say it's possible? Because first and foremost, above every other thing, we are all still human.
Okay.
And because we are human, some people, I know Ife is trying to dodge some things, but some people can actually tilt off a certain path.
Yeah,
that
that's
you
different,
know
though.
that this is no longer, for example, there are
Yeah,
some
that-
people
that
we know
part
now
is- that part
that were
stands in
doing,
that- no, that part
yeah, that were
stands in
doing
definitely.
so well, like speaking the right
Yeah,
things.
then they're going to.
Then they begin to, you
No,
know,
no.
tilt,
We
and then
understand
you
that
know
one. That
that
one is-
this no longer aligns with.
Yes, that's
So in such
acceptable.
cases, yeah.
I thought we were going to talk about that later, in the sense that what would you do to like change? What would
Yeah,
the
because
spiritual
at the
father
end of
do
the day,
to,
spiritual
like,
father
say,
is
well,
one.
don't-
Yeah,
don't-
spiritual father is all well and great,
For
you know.
example, spiritual father that's abusing.
Yeah, so you get so
Definitely.
obviously.
That's
Yeah.
why I just meant that when he said as maybe based on his description, Jay Mikey, what he said was different from Ian's.
He said decide when you decide to.
Because he said based on season.
Me,
different
why-
things
why you-
about-
No,
Me,
that
why you-
season
why
one
you
is
here
what-
with violence?
the season one is what I don't fully understand because I don't feel
Exactly.
times and
that was what I
seasons.
said. I wasn't.
But then
No,
times and seasons
God-
are subject to several things. The times and seasons could be yes, that man is already tilting elsewhere, so this is the season for me to. So at the end of the day, it's a very.
But
let's get
God
to
has
the
got
question
time
you
and
wanted
season
to
in
ask.
his hands,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, the question. Okay,
Of course you do. So the question you wanted to ask.
I think that part has been settled.
Yeah,
Two
yeah.
questions were asked initially, which is mentor and spiritual fathering, and we said that your spiritual father has the final say. And this question, Ife James, what brother question? Was it you?
Jamaican.
Oh, Jay Mikey. Yeah,
What question?
the table breaker.
That can me, I don't.
You
I'm
change
gentle
father
now.
because of
Yeah, that
season.
can. No,
Yeah,
that
but
no.
when
My
you-
question was, can you change?
Father.
Since you can change a mentor, can you change the spiritual father?
And I think you explained and says that when depending if the spiritual father is tilting.
Oh, and then another
Purpose.
answer I would give is if someone is a spiritual father, you don't just pick spiritual fathers like you pick something off the shelf.
Yeah.
No.
Because the spiritual
Exactly.
father, there has to be an instruction from God that this is
Yes,
the person
between-
that I want to
And
to
there
you
has
to
to be a
subject
witness
yourself to.
with
Yeah.
your spiritual
So when God
father.
also tells you that, move on.
I
Or
also think-
leave this covering.
I also think
Exactly.
You
for
also
someone
move.
hearing
So you don't
this,
just decide, yeah.
maybe I'm not saying that. I'll show it. Some people just say, oh, maybe a pastor preached a very good message. They say, oh, I like this.
I like this man. I want to be my
You know,
spiritual father.
so I
Yeah,
can be my
you
spiritual
don't
father.
just pick.
So,
Yeah.
some people just absorb that and just become, oh, that's my spiritual father and also. I think you need to.
It should be more than
like
that.
you said, no. No is not just physical no. It's not just I know his house or I know his church.
Okay.
It has to be no.
He has to know you personally.
Personally and
Okay.
know the person as
I
well.
think that answers
So to the
that
question you wanted to ask
now
before I
to the
interrupted.
question of the day, which is, can my spiritual father or can I be older than my spiritual father?
Very good question.
Jeremiah.
Do you want a yes or no question, or we can extensively? answer?
No, we'll start from yes or no,
yes
and then
or
we
no,
elaborate.
and we're going around.
Can I be older than my spiritual father?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. I mean, let me be sure. Wait, let me be sure. Can I be older?
Wait.
Ask the question.
Exactly. That's what I
Ask
wanted.
the
Let's take it back.
I should not go and say what I will not be able to support. Ask the question again.
Okay. The question is,
Yeah.
can I be older than my spiritual father, or just in case that's confusing,
Or
can my spiritual father be younger than I am?
Yes. Yes, I'll back it up.
And-
Please elaborate.
Okay, so I think one problem that we also that's created all of this whole age thing in spirituality or whatever, or this spiritual father thing that spoils it is I actively will say it and I'm unapologetic about it. NCCF and when we're in school, you see people just don't come for me. Let me explain very well. You see people call themselves Papa and Mama. And they absorb it so much, right? And it becomes pride for them. So this is where all of this started to become, it's not cool. And funny thing is, you might even be older than this person, and you're calling this person Papa. I heard one time that Daddy Mike said that he went to preach somewhere, and one guy that called himself Papa, student church, I called him and said, Papa, he told people to go and bring Daddy Mike to his office. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm right?
Yeah.
So I think that this is where all these things started to spoil in that sense. So age cannot be a problem when it comes to spiritual father, right? Like I said, somebody can be edified spiritually, be filled with anointing, and is way younger than me. And I can subject to the person if the person can make me align with my spiritual norm. So I think that age is not a problem for me.
Okay, that's correct. So, Jemaki?
Correct, or you agree?
I don't know.
If it's correct, agree or not.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he has said everything. He has said
but
everything.
I'm going to put it this way. When you say that your spiritual father is younger than you are, how exactly is the relationship supposed to be? And where does
I did not say right now my spiritual father is younger than me.
No,
No, I'm sorry.
I'm just saying that when people say that, I'm just saying that how exactly, where does submission come into play? And have we really seen much of that in the body of Christ?
So I think it's
recent
quite
times?
rare to see that. But I want to say that this has been happening in our father's church, like the old church. Some of these are pastors, these are our old pastors, they are younger than our father, and they subject to them very well. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And one thing is that you hear them call this pastor I mean, you respect in Yoruba sense. So it's not, to me, I feel like the relationship is just, they're respecting the anointing or the, I don't want to say title, they're respecting the grace of God upon their life, not the age bracket in that sense. So relationship will now be in the terms of, why is it that I'm the one only one?
Because you are in the spotlight today, sir. You are doing fantastic. But he's doing very well. The question I also wanted to bring up was, which was something that bothered me, especially back when I was in school, was when I saw probably young girls, maybe I was in like 400 level, and I saw girls in 300, 200 level, and they're like, oh, and I'm calling one guy, oh, Kenny. They're like, oh, you mean my mentor? I'm like,
I wanted to talk about this thing too. Do you know?
And Kenny, they're talking about is in 300 level. I'm like,
tell you how they catch them.
what are you mentoring?
They'll say that, what's your purpose?
Oh, that's what
Do you know?
They say, so that's the question I wanted to bring up. Because I think that thing really puts the whole concept of mentorship, it put me off for a long time. Because I'm like, what are all of you doing? What are you doing? You're all in school.
And you're calling my
and
daughter.
you already have papa. Yeah, someone said, oh, my papa. Someone said, my mentor. Someone said, my spiritual father. The spiritual father.
My discipler.
The spiritual father is still in 200 level.
You know, trying to figure out.
I know age is not an issue, but it's an issue too.
Yeah, trying to figure out first class.
Yeah, because so I think it's something we need to talk about. You know, especially, and this is very rampant among guys. I don't know.
Are you trying to say that
you read the Bible back to back 3-4 times, and all of a sudden you start packing mentees. Like they were mentorship class. Bro, stop this thing. Stop it.
Personally, I fought with that for a while.
Yeah.
And that was because at that moment, I had a mentor. I still have my mentor. And for some reasons, I have people saying, I'd like you to be my mentor. And
I think people cause that thing a lot of the time. When you speak once on stage and it's so fire, you just like 5 people that come to you and be like, please, I want you to mentor me.
And you should not be like,
let
me pray for you.
So I'm going to be meeting you every Friday. So I'm going to be meeting
an email
at Biagada Hall. You speak into your life.
You're blessed.
You're blessed. And the things of the spirit.
You know.
So I think we need to talk about it.
School fellowship.
So I think if you are
so bad. I want to say something. So
if you don't say anything, you've been very quiet. You are guilty.
No.
You too, you had mentees. Confess.
You have mentees.
Confess.
I don't even like it. So I run away from it.
You guys answered. You asked me a question. You didn't ask every other person.
No, because
you know well now.
No, you said, do I have a spiritual father? I said yes. Ask other people too.
I have a spiritual father.
Why always me?
I have a spiritual father. I've had one since I was 0 months old.
Okay, I feel like I'm not father.
Yes.
If I think my spiritual father is like perfect spiritual father for me, because career-wise, spiritual-wise, everything-wise, holistically.
Which is why I think a lot of pastors actually are keen on the spiritual father stuff. Not necessarily because of the spiritual covering, but because in a way it's a career path.
Yes.
So it's easy for them to bring them closer.
Yeah.
That's why I noticed that a lot of a lot of people that are in normal careers don't usually have spiritual fathers because it's people that you are pastoring. It's easy for you to sometimes like a pastor use his wealth of experience to teach you what to
Absolutely.
Wow.
So for people that are in other career paths, they're like,
But
what's now my own?
Do you have to be in ministry to have this spiritual father?
That's where I'm going. I know.
Also,
Because what I believe strongly that the body of Christ is supposed to be, is that we are supposed to be a house that is keen on discipleship, which is usually in smaller circles. That's why we should usually encourage people to be in a subgroup in the church. So you're able to know, yourselves. You're able to know people in your church that sound spiritually, but they are professors if you're in the academics. They sound spiritually, but they are medical doctors. So they can mentor you in the way of the Lord and also in line to your career. Which is why, seriously speaking, we need people in the career to be strong spiritually.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
This is another aspect I would like us to go into, but we've not finished the
question.
The one I asked about. How what's
the mentorship stuff.
How young is too young?
Yeah, that was what
to be a mentor.
Mentor or spiritual father?
Both.
Great. At what age? Because
I think spiritual father. Mentor.
You can mentor anybody once you have better experience than the person.
Exactly.
But when it comes to spirituality, doesn't mean
but what about spiritual mentorship?
That's massive. Really.
I think the issue is we just want big names. What is wrong with discipleship?
Exactly. That's what
I said spiritual mentorship.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you are doing spiritual mentorship, we can just stick. Spiritual mentorship is that you're training somebody in the spirit, which is quote and unquote not what it's supposed to be. What everybody's supposed to do, you are training somebody to build more like Christ. So if at every level, for instance, the church I grew up, the idea was you do discipleship.
So technically that's what fellowship leader is doing.
Yeah, but sometimes you overstretch it. And they are not supposed to be involved with the name. So as I was saying is you grow up in a discipleship system. You take this class. Once you finish that class, you are taking people below you. Somebody else is taking you. So you are not isolated, which is usually the problem of a lot of spiritual stuff, because they are in school fellowship especially. Once you are the purpose of fellowship, most people don't report to another person again.
It's straight to you.
So the person does not report. So you are in an island, as it were. So it feels pride, like we were saying. It feels different things. Right. And even when you have people ahead of you, there is no accountability. It's just maybe one person, grand mentor or patron or patron.
So that means it's better if all of these include hierarchies should be subject to a bigger system, not just somebody deciding to gather people together for his own.
There are people that will say that they are called.
Yeah, those people are called.
Because there's that part. Because the truth is, a lot of people, school was their training ground for ministry. So now that's a very tricky place. How do we end this?
That's a very tricky place because there are people who are prominent, big today that if they will tell you, oh, back when I was in school, like, so I don't feel bad now, say, for saying people that are in 311 they're calling themselves, but still, let's be very real.
I don't think anybody who wrong choice of word. People that grew up from that place. They had system that preserved them. So our issue, in case anybody's mixing it up, is not with the word, it's preserving accountability. And ensuring that power, authority is not abused. Exactly. So you can't get to a point where you say
the power is not concentrated on
the executive spirituality.
Someone is already. I feel it's even a very wrong concept when you have somebody carrying your Bible. At 311, you already have someone that is washing your cloth because you are a spiritual mentor. I feel it's too young to be having that. What?
Should your spiritual father have a spiritual father?
And that's what I'm talking about. That's what I wanted to ask.
That's similar to what he's saying. But people call even that person is reporting to someone.
But no, you know what? So, example now. Mikey is my spiritual father. I am his spiritual father. So Mikey is his spiritual grandfather. That's what they say. I mean, so
I promise you, I've never heard that before.
Really?
Spiritual grandfather.
Yes, they do that.
I've heard it.
I've heard it very well. So I think
we don't really say spiritual grandparents. We just call them grandparents.
Okay.
See, this is not hard. It's not hard. Everybody.
So who is that? Who is that? Gio? Great.
I just think I believe it's just title.
It's just title.
It's just title.
In the first place, your grandpa or your grand spiritual father, you might not have a direct access.
Absolutely, I get it.
This conversation is very, very long, actually. I mean, in terms of it's very wide. It meant different angles.
So at the end of the day, it's just names, terminologies, to be honest.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I think
But you know, there's some people that believe there shouldn't be spiritual father in the body of Christ. It should just be everybody's your brother and your sister.
Last question: Should you
doesn't seem
submit
feasible.
to someone that doesn't have a spiritual father?
Say that again.
Should you submit to someone that doesn't have a spiritual father?
So I think that thing
You've
is
been
also.
thinking a lot, but I'm listening.
I need to think before I talk, right?
Don't like he's really thinking of it. That look is.
Okay.
Ife James has something
You wanted to
say.
talk?
Oh, I've
Well-
said my own point about this. No, it's true.
You
now.
can, I mean, for example, the person's spiritual father might be late now.
No, I mean the person doesn't.
For
have
example,
a
who is Daddy
spiritual
Joe's spiritual father?
father. He
If you say
had one.
Akindayomi, it's late.
Yes,
It's late.
no, that's different. He had one, and you can identify.
Oh, that never had one.
Never had one.
That's a red
But
flag, in my
he's
opinion.
a spiritual father to many people.
It's in my opinion, it's a red
It's a
flag.
red flag. Even in terms of relationship, it's not really advisable. It's not
It's
advisable
a red flag.
to want to say someone is your partner and the person does not
Does not
have a
have
spiritual
any-
call.
I can't speak too much on it, but I'll just say in my opinion, it's a red flag.
Because I think it's the same thing. The issue of spiritual fatherhood is first and foremost issue of accountability.
So who is he accountable to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everybody.
Or who has he
Well, what
ever
if you say
been?
he's accountable to God?
Yeah, everybody's accountable.
Everybody's accountable
You
to
don't
God.
have to be accountable to God. When you get every account,
You will be accountable.
like
When they give birth to you like this, account before they give birth to you, account don't
Account
open.
anything you do,
Account everything.
so that one is
That one is no.
Okay.
I'm sorry, there's just something I wanted us to keep taking because many of these questions are really controversial, and you might have someone out there that is really confused about should I do. Now, I want J. Mikey to please tell us
Why?
What? Yeah, J. Mikey, you had your women
The
with
women
J.
is
Mikey.
doing today. Everybody's on your
She's firing arrow at everybody. Okay, all right.
So this is the last question, which is for someone to have a spiritual father, especially people that are out there really confused about this whole spiritual father. And now we have so much, well, I say spiritual father. Now this is an air quote.
Yeah.
Yes, that trying to gather. They're trying to gather spiritual sons and daughters.
Spiritual sons and daughters.
Even if the person isn't saying a revelation to me, they just say you are my spiritual daughter.
Name ceremony.
By force.
Okay,
Who's
so-
standing?
Yeah.
I really want J. Mikey rather to speak on what are the steps a person should take whenever, number one, when you feel you're led to someone to be your spiritual father, and what if you get to the person and to the spiritual father now, and he says that I do not receive you as my spiritual daughter or son, then what are the steps a person should take when trying to get a covering of spiritual
I've
father?
asked 3
And
questions.
Where do all the spiritual mothers go?
Okay, that's a very good question. Can we have a spiritual mother?
Yes.
Yes. Spiritual father is not.
No, we're-
It's
I'm
not
not-
gender based, to be
Not-
honest.
yeah,
I'm just, I'm
Yeah.
just.
Oh,
no.
that's great. I think that's a good light to it.
Yeah.
That's a good light.
To be honest, so the first question you asked, right?
Okay.
I might not be the best person to ask because I didn't search for a spiritual father. I was born into one. I was born into one. However, from the things I've seen in life and from the experiences I've had seeing a lot of things, I would say this, that a lot of times, or let me just go into the instructive mode. Let us try not to get too bent on this spiritual mentor thing or spiritual father thing. Sometimes in the bid to look for a spiritual father, we end up diving into someone that, God has not approved of us. If we're talking about spiritual father, it's a big deal. It's not just
it is.
it's not just someone that you like, you love the sermon or you love the way he dresses. It's not just someone that I like this person so much. Not spiritual father. No. It has to be, God has to be behind or involved in this aspect. So what I would say is this: first of all, your relationship with God first.
The importance.
Don't wait for a spiritual father to help your relationship with God.
Go further.
Wow.
Go further. Nice one. So, work on your walk with God first. Then God knows how to connect you with, for example, now this spiritual mentorship I was talking about. For my parents, now they didn't have physical mentors when they were young. It was the books of some men of God outside the country
That they were feeding on.
And it was God that, gave them these books because there was no one in drama ministry that could mentor them, So, first things first, your work with God, deal with that, make sure that is sorted. God knows how to bring people your way, those that will feel in the position of a spiritual father, those that will feel in the position of kingdom partners, purpose friends. I don't know what other word to use. God brings these people around you to help you. So it's not you doing God's job by looking for a spiritual father yourself based on the things that you just see with your eyes.
And not about, I just want to add to what you said, that lots of people now are about getting their spiritual father based on popularity. And
That's another thing. Based on trend.
That is more of, now everyone out there it's like a competition. Who's your spiritual father? My spiritual father.
My spiritual father has
My spiritual father has 3 flying jets.
5,000 capacity, whatever.
Yes. So spiritual fathering, like J. Mikey mentioned, is much more than that. Your spiritual father is your covering. Because a lot of times there are certain situations that has happened to me that I felt that, Lord, you got to tell my daddy about this. And then, and that was this day that shocked me. This is the last thing I'll say. And that day, I was very sad. I was very sad that day, and I remember that my friend was telling me, why don't you tell your spiritual father about this? Then I looked at my spiritual father, I looked at everything going on, I said, yeah, I'll just wait. But for some reasons, he said, and I told my friend that, you know what, I'm going to send a voice note to my spiritual father about that. I just said I was going to send a voice note. And that evening, I went in, came out, and my spiritual father called me. Send me the 5-minute voice notes, I'll call you back. I looked down like, whoa, what just happened right now? That it's more serious because even God is aware that He is your spiritual father.
It's an alignment.
Yes, there is an alignment, like you said, and there is a sync you have together that if something wants to happen, your spiritual father can call you and say, oh, I sense that you're about to do this and that. So it's so serious. And you don't just do it, oh, he's so popular, I need him to be my spiritual father. And you can't pay for it. Remember this movie that was done by the Winlows where Professor Suddenly took a seed to go meet a pastor. Apostle Roman to be
precise.
No, when I saw the pastor, regardless of the fact that they were acting the movie, I get to proceed to Apostle Roman and say he wants him to be your spiritual father. And of course he declined. And that is really what's happening everywhere. People feel they can buy their way into this based on popularity. And it doesn't work like that because it's more serious. Your spiritual father might not even be known by
And that was
anybody.
very symbolic. He declined, which means it's not just a member of a church kind of a thing.
Yes.
Member of a church, of course you are welcome, but spiritual father,
yes,
you can accept or
very
decline.
rare. Now, oh my God, can your spiritual father be the pastor of another church?
Yes.
And you're in another church?
Yes.
It's possible.
Definitely.
And your pastor isn't going to look at you like, what am I doing?
No.
No.
Come on.
There are many factors to it.
Okay.
There are many factors
All right,
to
so
it.
I think we've been able to bring justice to this, right? Am I correct?
Yes, in my opinion.
In my opinion.
Yes, we have.
Break a few tables.
Can I say something?
Yes.
If you want to read about spiritual father in the Bible, very significantly, I think Moses and Jethro has been a very
Elijah and Elisha.
Yeah, very.
Paul
So
and
you can
Timothy.
just read. If I'm not saying that people that want to go into ministry, I'm just saying that normal way of life.
For you to have a bit of understanding.
Really amazing.
So thank you so much for joining the show. We'd like to know what you think about
Tell us what you
spiritual
think.
fathering in
Is
the
there any table that we haven't
shocking.
fixed completely?
Yeah, I think there are things we didn't fix. Okay. People are going to disagree a lot.
We'll do a part 2 then. We shall be here.
All right, bye. We're good.
She's